The Eastern Conference rankings for 2022-2023 season starts now. Welcome back to Detroit Pissing Me Off. Tonight on the show, we've got a special edition. Predictions for the regular season seedings for the playoff berths 1 through 10, and we'll actually go down to the entire rankings of the Eastern Conference, which I believe is around 15 or 16 teams. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Come on, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. The Detroit Pistons, I believe, are going to make a monumental leap this year. No, they won 23 games and lost 59 last year. So I think the Eastern Conference is going to be bunched up and tough, and there's going to be a lot more teams competing than you probably think at this point. That's just my humble opinion in that matter. But hey, the number one team, Miami. They're always going to be in the mix, but I'm not going to go with Miami at 1. They're going to be there, but I got to go Philadelphia, Milwaukee. It's got to be one of those 4 there. And I'd have to say at this point, the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the most dynamic player in the game right now. Him and Steph Curry. I'd say Steph Curry, MVP, maybe the greatest player. One of the greatest players that we've seen in a long time. But at the same time, Giannis in the same category as well. Chris Middleton going down last year might have been the difference in them facing off with those Golden State Warriors in the championship. But unfortunately, we were unable to see it. Maybe next year. Could be a dark horse, and we'll get to that later. Number 2, I've got to stay with the Boston Celtics. Boston, they've had some allegations, suspended the old coach route. Jaylen Brown and Tatum, they added Malcolm Brogdon. I got to go number 2, the Boston Celtics. Larry Bird's not in the house, but Malcolm Brogdon's got a little swagger. Al Horford's, he's not getting any younger, but he is still very effective. And that's what I like about Isaiah Stewart for the Detroit Pistons. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Al Horford. And which means Al Horford developed that jumper. I really don't want to pick the Brooklyn Nets yet. The Miami Heat. The Miami Heat, I just have a great system with Eric Palestra, Pat Riley in the home office, whatever you want to call it, president of operations, yada, yada, yada. They've got a good range of shooters. Duncan Robinson, I'd rather have the other cat. Scores about 20 a game. White boy, I can't remember his name. Tyler Hero, yeah. So Tyler Hero, obviously they got some guns, and then they got Jimmy Butler, the VO-double-double-G. Is he ready for the championship? Ready to get over the hump this year? They're always a contender, in my opinion. Number 4, the Philadelphia 76ers. You got James Harden, you got Joel Embiid, you got Tyrone Maxey coming back. They've got a solid club. Too much of the pressure's been on Embiid. I'm going to go number 5, Cleveland Cavaliers this year, adding it with the addition. They could even move up higher. I think this could be a potential team where, if not this year, next year, fight to an Eastern Conference Finals. With the squad, the nucleus they have, then I think they definitely have an opportunity to reach high expectations. Of course, being a Piston fan and being in the Central doesn't fare well with me. Just trying to tell you, give you a little realness. Yeah, I got to go Cleveland 5. I hate to say it. They got all the talent, they improved. It may take them a while to get used to playing with Donovan Mitchell, yada, 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 and then the guy in the point guard position in the top. 2 centers, Evan Mobley and giant tall guy there with dunks in. What's the guy's name? Oh, shit. You know what I'm talking about. That guy, he's tall, defensive. So that's why I've got Cleveland at number 5. They've got a solid club. They've added additional players. And they're just kind of like that sexy pick because they got the big trade. Will LeBron go back to Cleveland now for a 3rd journey and his son? Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh, boy, that made me throw up, but heartwarming all the same. Toronto Raptors. Rookie of the year last year, that young man who beat up Cade Cunningham, which I think was a load of funky cold Medinas. I did not like that. I think Cade Cunningham was absolutely screwed, in my humble opinion. Evan Mobley, the 3-way race, really. There were some good rookies last year, but I think Cade Cunningham, in the end, will be the top guy from that year franchise for years and years. The Detroit Pistons are building something special, of course. I still can't pick them yet because they're so young. We'll get to you later, Pistons. Okay. And now, number 7. Anyways, next on the list, well, I'm just making it up as I go, but all these teams is really hard to differentiate in this tier here. I should have prepared the list beforehand, do some research, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, you know, but I just tell you how it is. Tell you how it is. Come on. Come on. Thinking about it, huh? Come on. All right. So I was going down between Atlanta, Chicago. Atlanta, Chicago, the only one I've got left in this tier right here, to be honest. For this one, I'm going to go with Atlanta. I like the addition. DeJounte Murray was the cat from the San Antonio Spurs. He's going to mask some of those issues for Trae Young defensively and can also bring a little extra juice offensively with John Collins. And I think really what Trae Young can do now is focus on his defense a little more and passing and let the 3 fly when he doesn't need to force it. And I've watched him throughout his career, a brilliant playmaker, but he's been forced to do too much on his own. Now with the surroundings that he has, I think he'll be able to come in with a different role and more of a Steph Curry role, because he's always, of course, reminded people a little bit of Steph Curry, but he doesn't quite have the same. I guess his dribbling maybe not as good. I don't know. Was something about that? Or Atlanta's got Bogdan Bogdanovic. We have Bojan Bogdanovic, but it's like Bojan, like a J, but it's pronounced Bojan. But they have Bogdan Bogdanovic. It confuses the absolute. It's like, come on, what's up with all these? The John Smith of Latvia or something, Croatia. I don't know. Of course, John Collins, Clint Capella. You know they even got Jared Culver. It hasn't really panned out yet too much, but maybe. This year they added A.J. Griffin. DeAndre Hunter's still developing, and I think he's a pretty solid player already. Now it's going to be interesting to see with DeJounte Murray. And before I do choose the Pistons, though, I mean, look, I think we had the potential to get a high play-in, and I'm not going to be one of those Debbie Downers all the time. You know, now we've got a few teams here that are interesting. Well, sorry, Pistons fans. We're going to drop you down a little bit. After further review, I've got to go here with the Brooklyn Nets. With Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons, could be another little show again. Show, if you know what I'm saying. Wavering on this, but I'm going to have to go with the Brooklyn Nets next. Ouch, that hurt. At number, whatever I hope I am wrong, and I hope Brooklyn wins 18 games, then loses their draft pick. I'm just sick and tired of that whole operation. Okay, moving on to the Detroit Pistons next. You know, I was like, wait, have I picked the Chicago Bulls? Ah, jeez. Next up, the Chicago Bulls. Pistons still waiting in the wings. They have too much offense with the big guy inside, Levine and Ball, and the big guy inside. He doesn't play any defense. But Nikolai Vucevic, he doesn't play a lot of D, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I mean, just like, come on. But they are going to outscore a lot of teams. And I think Detroit is going to have a little bit of a difficult time outscoring teams in the early going. On certain nights, they'll be able to. Defensively, I think they have some potential. Of course, Bojan Bogdanovic gives them a little offense, but they lose a little deep. I don't know. And the first preseason game is tomorrow night. So right here, I'm picking them after Chicago. Let's talk about the Detroit Pistons. All right. The Detroit Pistons tomorrow night in New York. We already had a video on that. Check that out over here. Blah, blah, blah. I may be way off base here. You know, I'm thinking we might be getting closer to 500, 35 to 40 wins. I just feel like Cade Cunningham in his second season is going to make a big jump, and then adding Bojan Bogdanovic. Of course, we lost Jeremy Grant, but Jeremy Grant he had to have the ball in his hand, whereas in Bojan Bogdanovic doesn't really have to. Of course, we're going to lose some of that defense for Jeremy Grant. And I want to see Hamidou Diallo, what he can do off the bench, but he might be the guy, the odd man out, which will make me hurt painfully. But if somebody gets injured, that's going to hurt me as well. They're going to be competing this year, and that's all that matters. I don't really care if they lose their draft pick. I think we have enough we have too much talent on this team regardless. I mean, you want another asset? Okay, well, let me tell you something here. Let's just get to the playoffs. I think, it's time. If not this year, we're going to be very competitive this year, I think. Barring catastrophic injuries. which could definitely happen. That's the game. I really think the Pistons are going to be competitive. That's why I was like, I almost picked them over Chicago, but I really can't. I mean, this is picking over some solid ball clubs. I mean, the East is stacked this year. So after that, I'm going to have to go Brooklyn. I already picked Brooklyn. Yeah. I really didn't want to, but that's, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Come on, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And we'll see you next time on Detroit Piston Me Off. The top 10. Check out my anti-bullying website at munkerpubs.com, where I sponsor people that need help in the self-defense, one-on-one training, or I will pay for your academy depending on the financials. Check it out, munkerpubs.com. We'll be adding some new products, or you can just make a sweet little donation. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I can't wait till tomorrow night. We're heading into Madison Square Garden Arena. Man, this would be a nice outfit in Madison Square Garden, huh? Ciao.